Hawaiian trade winds, sky of endless blue, moonlight on the ocean, good food, good wine, and you.
Hawaiian stuff. Oh, great chefs, Hawaiian stuff.
Aloha, and welcome to Great Chefs of Hawaii. Come join us for a taste of paradise as the island's finest chefs explore Pacific Rim cuisine. This time from Kauai, Ronald Nasuti. From Hawaii, Alan Wong. And from Maui, Mark Hetzel.
In Hawaii, a restaurant called Roy's does not refer to Rogers, but Yamaguchi. At Roy's on Kauai, Ronald Nasuti is executive chef. He trained and apprenticed in Boston before joining Roy's. His appetizer is definitely an island flag waver, featuring a limpet called Opihi with Okinawan potatoes and ogo. Opihi is a mollusk, a type of snail, and ogo is seaweed. The chef begins with the sauce.
Start the dish with shallots and onions.
They're sautéed in olive oil.
Want to start to burn the onions slightly, get a little bit of black or brown color on them. Just slightly, just enough to make them sweet. At this point, I add my liquids and then the rest of my ingredients to take down the temperature of the pan. Pineapple juice, cream. Thyme.
Sliced shiitake mushrooms. And seared julienne of fresh pineapple.
The pea are still alive, and we don't want to overcook them. We want to keep them rare, medium rare, so we're going to throw them in right at the end. As the mushrooms cook, they release a lot of liquid, so we want to reduce it out. We want the sauce to tighten up. Salt and pepper. While that's reducing, I'll set up the dishes with the Okinawan sweet potatoes.
The only difference between standard sweet potatoes and the Okinawan variety is the alarming color.
Kind of make a little volcano. Sauce is almost at the consistency I want. So I'm going to put the OP right on top. The crispy yogo, I just dust it in flour. Pan fry it to medium-high temperature. seaweed's already really salty, so it tastes really good. It's just kind of like a seaweed potato chip after you fry it. Stuff a little volcano with the cassoulet mixture. Make sure that it's clean. Top with the crispy yogo. This is balsamic vinegar reduction. It's kind of sweet. Adds a lot of color, brings out the purple. And that's it.
Alan Wong is one of the most inventive chefs in all of the islands. At the time of this taping, he was at the Maunilani Bay Hotel on the Big Island. There are some flourishes in his entree that bear watching. It's sautéed shrimp and penne pasta with tomato garlic rice cream sauce.
I need to do two things before I start the dish. The first is a rice cream, which actually has no dairy in it at all. What you do is you take, in a 10-to-1 ratio, 1 part rice to 10 parts of liquid. And the liquid is 1-to-1 ratio of chicken stock and clam juice in this particular case. And you cook this for approximately 45 minutes until the rice absorbs most of the liquid. Then what you do is we're going to blend this. In Asia, this is commonly called congee. Chinese call it juk. Japanese call it okayu. You can add anything to the rice, from water to chicken stock to whatever you want. So basically you have it sort of consistency of like warm honey, kind of syrupy. So the second thing that I need to make, I need it again, is to make some tomato water. Basically, we take vine-ripened tomatoes, and normally we have a lot of ends and pieces that we use also. I'm gonna blend this.
Don't do this at home. Leave the top on and scrape down the jar with the motor off.
The only thing we're going to add to this is just a pinch of salt. Then what you do is you set up a china cap lined with a coffee filter. You can use cheesecloth if you want. And you're going to pour this mixture right over the top. And you normally let this sit overnight in the refrigerator to let it drip for 24 hours. Once you've let it drip overnight, what you get is a clear liquid. This is tomato water.
Olive oil is in the heated pan.
So there are some shrimps. 16-20 shrimps, salt and pepper. And really lightly dust them with some flour. In the meantime, we're going to add some capers to this dish, some tomatoes, some parsley, and then the pasta.
The shrimp are sautéed.
I'm going to brown it really nicely on two sides. So we're going to add a little bit of minced garlic. Add some white wine. Some tomato water. And add these ingredients. To this, we're going to add the rice cream. And we're going to add the butter. It's a little bit of salt. I use half the amount of butter, no dairy at all. This is a little bit of cheese, freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So this we just add some basil. Some more tomato. That's it.
Wailea is the Gold Coast of resorts on Maui, and the Four Seasons Resort is one of the swankiest. Pastry chef Mark Hetzel was a CIA graduate and eventually joined the Four Seasons operation in Houston. His dessert this time is a Kona coffee chocolate cheesecake with coffee macadamia nut crust. Chef Hetzel starts the crust by combining 3½ ounces of butter with 2 cups all-purpose flour and a 1/4 teaspoon each of sugar and salt.
At this point, we want to mix in the rest of the ingredients.
Brown sugar, grated dark chocolate, diced pecans, and diced macadamia nuts.
When everything is fairly well blended, we'll add in the coffee and the vanilla that's mixed together. And work this into a dough. We don't want to overwork the dough. Just want to make sure that it's fully blended.
The finished dough is chilled 4 to 6 hours, then rolled out, pressed into fluted tart shells, and baked in a 350-degree oven for 8 minutes or until partially set.
Okay.
Chocolate ganache is started by pouring coffee-flavored heavy cream, which was brought to the boil, over melted dark chocolate. The ganache will be used to coat the filled tarts, as well as to flavor the cheesecake filling.
Stir this mixture until it becomes smooth and shiny and is completely mixed.
The filling is started by creaming 1 pound of cream cheese, a half a cup plus 2 tablespoons sugar and 4 eggs, adding them one at a time.
When all the eggs have been added, we're going to stir in the heavy cream. And the creme de coco.
The mixture is then combined with some of the ganache.
And this is the cheesecake mixture.
Then the partially baked tart shell is filled. It is baked at 350 degrees until the center is just set. Another flavor factor are sliced bananas.
In fairly thin slices.
They are warmed through in brown sugar and butter, spiked with a little of the coffee liqueur, Tia Maria.
We'll then add in some Tia Maria. And continue to cook till the bananas are tender. After the bananas have cooled, our next step is to place the bananas into the cavity on top of the cheesecake.
The fluted tart shell was also used as a cutter in order to create a piece of crust to fit the mouth of the mold.
We'll then take the bottom shell, press it gently, and invert the cheesecake. Our next step is to glaze the cheesecake with chocolate ganache. You want to warm the ganache slightly so that it runs evenly. Remove that from the fire. Now we allow that to cool.
Caramel sauce will garnish.
When the sugar turns to a medium caramel, we want to add the cream that's been boiled, mixed with the banana puree. And allow that to simmer for a few minutes. Being careful as we add the hot cream. We add in the rum and some diced bananas. And our sauce is ready. We place the glazed cheesecake onto a plate. Garnish with the sauce. And we finish with some macadamia nut brittle.